What's up everybody, welcome to The Gold Life. My name is Pary, I'm an electrical engineer, and today we're going to be watching Dr. Stone to see how accurate all the science and technology in this TV show really are. This has also been the most requested TV show or movie or anything that I watch and commentate on, so I've been looking forward to this for a while, and I have no idea what any of this is about. I haven't seen any sort of anime in a long time. The last one I saw was Boruto, and that was just for fun, but to actually analyze it, I've never done something like this before. So I'm interested to see, pretty much as you guys are, I'm interested to see how accurate these things can really become. Okay, let's get started.
死ぬほど合理的なもんくれてやるよ。フェロモン放出を極度に活性化するいわゆる惚れさせ薬。こいつ飲んできゃ100億%だ。
This idea for a love potion has probably been the most prolific mixture that chemistry has ever come up with. I mean, people have been trying to create something like this for as long as time. It's been taken so far to the point where there's been dopamine put into perfume. Literally just it's straight cocaine has been put into perfume, and then when someone inhales it, the whole idea is that you'll get a little bit of that high and you'll follow the person back to where the source came from. That was a horrible failure, but pretty much every sort of chemical mixture that you can think of to create a love attraction has already been tried. Every food, every liquid, everything has been tried. It doesn't work. You have to ask her out on a date. I mean, even then it won't work, but I mean, that's a whole different question entirely. But one thing that the guy with the celery hair keeps talking about is everything is very, very logical, and it's kind of ironic because medicine in that of itself is very logical, but emotions are not. And inherently, when it comes to computers and engineering, those are 100%, they're perfectly logical, as in everything is based off of a 1 or a 0, which is an on or an off. And one thing about engineering is there hasn't been a machine developed yet that can measure how much stress someone is going through. Or you can't develop something that can detect how much pain someone's experiencing. Those are all emotion and mental based. But in general, engineers have to keep this in mind, that you cannot, I guess the best way to put it is that you can't use logic when it comes to emotions. So when you're developing any sort of machinery or technology, you need to keep that in mind. I mean, medicine included, there's only so many drugs you can prescribe to fix the problem before it's okay, maybe this is not the correct solution.
薬ってなもんあるわけねえだろ。ただのガソリンだ。ペットボトルのキャップから生成したポリエチレンの分子構造考えろバカ。ガソリンの長さに炭化水素ぶった切ってるだけだ。見りゃわかんだろ。いやわからん。
Okay, he's not wrong about the molecular structure of polyethylene, but what I would take an issue with is how you're able to extract a certain sort of molecule out of a bottle cap. Because when molecules are interacting with one another, they don't actually all behave the same. And I mean, okay, so just take water for example. For you to actually separate water between the hydrogen and oxygen molecules that it actually has is not very easy. And what he's doing is he's taking the hydrocarbons from a bottle cap, which is plastic, and he's broken those down to usable fuel and waste. And that fuel is what he's pretty much going to be using as gasoline. Imagine that you have an ice cube, which is solid water, and you want to remove just the oxygen from that ice cube, right? So you have to break it down to the molecular level. So I mean, what you could do is you can just take it and put it on a hot plate. So the solid water will melt and it'll become liquid water, right? And then from that point, it can vaporize, and then it becomes a gas, but it's still water. But it's just in different forms. You can solid, liquid, and gas, but you haven't actually changed the molecular structure of it at all. Your body has that ability to break down individual molecules and then use them for energy. That's what you're doing with adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. The process that goes down there is your body has a whole array of enzymes, and it has catalyst reactions going on, and it's specifically built to get the energy from those ATP molecules. However, for you to actually create a device that'll do that, is I don't even think that's been done before. But also here I'm wondering like if he's like adding hydrocarbons, like where are those coming from? Or like if he's taking them away, I guess those can just be waste. But the main question here is like you can't just like melt plastic and then like mix it with something and then use that to make gasoline. Like it's not that easy. Polyethylene is just what he said with like some hydrocarbons chopped off, but I mean you can say that for just about anything, right? I mean like because all amino acids have the same base. And you can just say like, well yeah, I mean that protein is the same as this one, but it has like just those two molecules that are different. But those two molecules can make a world of difference. Okay. That happened.
今日で西暦5738年の10月5日だ。どんだけ寝坊してやがんだてめえ。こっちはもう半年以上前から起きて働いてんだよ。
つまりあの日から。
ざっくり3700年は経ってる。
I guess I mean it's pretty easy to say that like yeah, like, you're not gonna survive in stone or in ice or any sort of state like that for 3,700 years, at least with the technology that we have today. And I don't know how you, because even for like patients who are in a comatose state, you still have like a tube that like goes inside of your body, and that tube is feeding you all like the nutrients and like salt and other vitamins that you need to keep a patient who's in a coma alive. And if you don't have any sort of like nutrients to continue your metabolic functions, you will die. Because I mean like your brain will have no fuel, there's going to be no oxygen getting into your lungs, you're not going to have anything that's keeping you alive. And like we can't make our own energy unlike plants, so we can't just stay in one space and not have anything like there's so much going on with that there's not a chance that you would survive it.
同時ってのが妙じゃねえか。3700年の半年差だぞ。偶然には必ず合理的な理由がある。俺も
There's a logical explanation behind every coincidence. That is spoken like a true scientist right there. When it comes to any sort of like hypothesis that you might have, it's definitely a point of question that like how many coincidences will it take before you begin to ask, is this a pattern? And you're like, one of the cool things about like science is that like if you ever have to wonder something, like you can develop an apparatus and you can find a way to test it, like just as these guys are doing right here. Like they're just applying the scientific method to what pretty much not what kept them alive, but more so like what rebirthed them almost, which is a really interesting like this show is interesting, man. Like I definitely want to know like what happens in future episodes from this point.
超遠く。だから仮説と実験繰り返してんだろうが。地道なもんだ科学は。酒さえあればな。酒のアルコールがありゃ、硝酸プラスエタノールでナイタール液が作れる。もろ工業用の不織布液だ。
He's absolutely right about that. Science is actually a pretty slow process because there's just from one study you can't say that you've actually determined anything after it's been like peer reviewed by many other scientists all over the world. Basically when you release something, if you can't disprove it, you're in the clear. Okay, so he has nitric acid and ethanol, and he's making nitol. I don't actually know the chemical composition of nitol, so I can't I don't have it like memorized, but I mean I'm sure like it makes sense that would work. Like when you're mixing like two sort of like chemicals together, there's certain things that will occur when you know a chemical reaction has occurred. Like if you see bubbles forming, that's a pretty good indication, or a color change, that's a good one.
酒さえあれば、もしやブドウってワインの元になるんじゃ。
やるじゃねえかデカブツ。
Yeah, I mean you can like totally make wine out of like the grapes that you just buy from like a grocery store, and you can also make vodka out of potatoes. I wouldn't recommend it. Like, so fermenting it is actually pretty easy, but distilling it is the hard part, and that's why when they finally make their final like drink, it tastes awful. But it'll definitely be alcoholic, but you're certainly not gonna like it. Like if you look at any sort of like bottle of like vodka or like even wine, it'll tell you it's like 5 times distilled, or it's like how often it's been distilled. Like what that means is that you're like removing all the impurities from it. The way that ancient civilizations used to do it is exactly like they're showing here, but a lot of the impurities will be left in, so the alcohol wouldn't actually be safe to drink. But then again, back then a lot of stuff wasn't safe to eat either, so you know, I gotta tell you guys, like, I really enjoyed watching this show. I'm far more interested in how on earth they make it out alive, or what they're gonna do to like just keep up with daily life, because the civilization's pretty great. Like if you leave your house right now, like despite the evils of like, you know, like capitalism and stuff like that, if you leave your house and you're just like out there in the woods, you're gonna be missing your air conditioning and like Grubhub and ordering food very, very fast. Like life out there is pretty difficult. I'm more interested in see how these guys just like basically like the show got me. Like the pilot episode is definitely interesting, and I kind of want to see what happens more. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video, and if there's anything else that you want me to commentate over or watch, just let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay fresh and stay golden.